Hey guys, so like I said, this podcast is very raw and uncut. It's a diary, so to speak. Me sharing my journey, me sharing the revelations, epiphanies, from my own introspection, my own conscious awareness, which is the awareness of the thinking mind, so that as I heal certain mindsets coming out of, my identity, my soul, which is a black soul in America, a woman, a mother, poverty, just a lot of things. So coming out of a lot of the constructs and the mental and the mindsets and the adaptations behaviorally and psychologically, as I heal those things, as I transcend those things, as I ascend, as I, all the things, like mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, holistically, I like to express and talk about, experiences that I have, so that hopefully somebody who shares commonality, we all come from the same dysfunctional cloth. We all cut from that same cloth. So somebody may listen to me and be able to relate and resonate, and they can use the things that I've used to help them. So today I want to do more like a mom confession, because it's my whole life. It's not just me being a spiritual teacher, just giving tips out. It's about me sharing my story as well. So this morning, every day is something with my son. Getting him together, getting him ready. He's, of that age where they want to be, a little defiant, 6, 7, 8 years old, that age range. And so every morning, it's a battle when I try to tell him to get up. I've bought timers. I have timers all around the house now. We've been using those. Barely, not consistently, because I have to remind him. Also, I have a chart, a visual aid. So this chart has everything I need him to do on it, and it has Velcro. So he flips it up and it says done. When he's done with it, he closes it. He opens it. When it's open, it says not done. So he has the visual, he has everything for it. So there's that. And, this morning he was just giving me a hard time. And it's every day it's just you just don't have the tolerance for it sometimes. And so I was get ready or whatever. I say, I can't put your clothes on for you every day. You got everybody else they're at your age, they're getting ready. They know how to get themselves ready. And so he was slowly moving, dragging. And then I was put your socks on. And he started grabbing the other clothes. I'm like, dude, one thing at a time. Put the socks on first before you do the other stuff. You're trying to grab the other stuff and you haven't even put the socks on yet. And he's like, I don't want to see you. I'm trying not to see so I don't see your face. I'm like, no. I was like, so why are you trying to pull this stuff? You haven't done the socks yet, so I don't see your face. And so I'm not going to lie. I was triggered. And so I popped him. And I was like, you're not going to be disrespectful. Put your stuff on now. And so, he did what he had to do. He started getting up. He even used his chart, which he hasn't used his chart in over a week. And, the old school mind in my head was yeah, ain't nothing like a good old fashioned ass whooping to get that act right. But then there's also the other aspect that I started, I also observe other things too. And I'm like, I don't always want him to feel like he's bad or he's not enough, or that I love him conditionally, because it's not. None of that is true. Those are things that the devil or his mind may tell him because of a circumstance like a whooping, or a pop or a spanking or whatever you want to call it, or any kind of discipline, anything that's not perceived as nice or perfect or good, beneficial for him in his eyes, fuels his negative thinking about me and about parents and whatever, then that's when they start doing blurt outs like, you're mean, or I hate you, or this or that and whatever. But, he did everything. He took his medicine. I didn't hear no complaints. I said, he's like, yeah, Mom. He was positive after that. I said, James, do you see how fast you got ready when you just put your mind to it. Like, I said, look at how fast you put your clothes on. And you wasn't like, and he wasn't rushing anything. I wasn't like rushing him. Like, when I see him doing it, as long as I see him moving and not just rolling around and complaining, I said, do you see how much you can get done, accomplished when you're not wasting your time complaining? I said, I want you to always feel safe and to express yourself with me. Like, if you was like complaining about, oh man, school's boring, this and that, and yada, 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 that's fine, because that's how you feel, and that's you expressing how you feel about school. But when you start saying, I don't look at your face, or you're this or that, or being mean to me when I don't deserve it, when I've done nothing to you, but try to, teach you what's right and do this and that, then it's unacceptable. For me, that's my boundary as a parent. Everybody can parent how they want to, but there's a line. You can express how you feel about school, but you don't get to verbally abuse me, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm establishing my boundaries. Just like you can be angry, you can scream in your pillow, you can do certain things, but you don't get to throw things. You get what I'm saying? Everybody you can stomp your feet. Like, everybody has their limits and their exceptions and their boundaries. For me, that's one of mine. You know what I mean? Like the verbal abuse, because I'm not going to sit here and call him a bunch of names just because out of my type of discipline. No, that's not me. So on the way to school, he was just out of nowhere. He's like, Mom, we were doing his little morning inspirational talk, a pep talk or whatever. And, his dad, we call him on the phone and then we talk and whatever. And he was like, out of nowhere, he kind of cut his dad off. He's like, Mom, I don't think I'm ready for second grade. And, the average person would have been like, what the hell is this coming from? But me, no, just with the psychological background and just understanding the mind and the spirit and how the mind interprets and fuels your spirit and everything in your heart, I knew that whooping probably got him spiraling into his thoughts. It got him thinking about things. It got him probably feeling bad about himself. It got him, because he does carry victim mentality a lot. He has a lot of pity parties. I'm not going to even lie, but I try to help him process those. So I told him, I said, well, why do you feel like that? He's like, I don't think I'm ready for more structure. He's like, the second grade teachers, they're more strict. They're more this or that. I said, James, you are ready. You have to be confident. I said, you already made it to second grade. You already passed. That means you did what you're supposed to do. That means you understand. That means, and I said, plus, you have a secret weapon. You have a mom who's taught in schools, who's been a teacher, who is a teacher, who loves math, writing, reading, all the subjects, who loves to help her son succeed. And I said, plus you have your parents to support you. I said, you don't have to stress about or be scared or worried about making a mistake. I said, we're not going to always punish you for making mistakes. If you fail, we're here to pick you up. We're here to lift you up. We're here to support you. I said, the consequences, yes, you will still get consequences, but that's for things that you understand and we've told you over and over again, because at that point, But when you're learning and you make a mistake or you fail, we're not going to punish you for that. You don't get in trouble for every little thing. I said earlier today, you got in trouble because you were disrespectful to me, and you've done that multiple times. You understand not to do that. Not because you had a problem with going to school, not because you expressed yourself about school. I said, if you were to do that, that's fine, but you don't get to disrespect me. And I said, so don't fear school. And I said, also, he didn't even have to tell me. I already know. I know teachers because I've been a teacher before. I said, also, sometimes, I said, don't let your teachers scare you, because teachers have their little, arsenal of tools in their back pocket, that they use when the classroom is getting unruly and out of control. And I said, sometimes when teachers are trying to control a classroom and everybody's doing bad, they start scaring you and saying, well, you better get used to it, because when you get in second grade this, and when you get in second grade, you can't do this, and y'all lucky I do this because in second grade, and I started just going on, and I was telling them, I was like, that's what they do, because they want to put fear in your head so that you act better. And I said, you can't let that get in your head, because a lot of it's not true. I said, think about it. The teacher you have now was really strict. You were scared about first grade, remember? And I said, but look at you now. You finish your work before other kids. Everybody that I talk to says how smart you are. I said, you're ready. I said, don't let that. I said, the mind will make you feel like things that's not true. I said, fear is an illusion, because everybody is fearful when they don't understand something or when they don't know what's going to happen. But then once you learn, then it's no longer scary. So I said, think about it. Your teacher was a second grade teacher. So you are ready and you are prepared because you've had a teacher who is a second grade teacher at heart. She's a second grade teacher. So you already know what it's like. So you have an advantage right there. And I said, and you thought she was strict. I mean, she's more strict than second grade teachers. So if you can handle her, you can handle anybody else. And I said, like I said, also, just don't let what other people say scare you because you can do it. And like I said, also, you have us here to support you. You have your secret weapon, me, to help you. I love school. I love helping you. He said, but what if I get stuck on a math question? I said, that's okay. That's fine. Then you come home and you tell me and I'll help you understand the math question. But it's like, that's a beautiful thing. I don't know if I ever just always, if I just talk to my parents, like I can't fully remember if I would talk to them about these types of things when I would have stress or thoughts that are surrounding worry and anxiety and fear. I don't know if I had these conversations because I don't know if I truly understood them myself. I think I just let those thoughts run me and rule my actions and my behaviors. And it's beautiful that my son feels safe and comfortable enough to express it to me because now I can help him process it and work through those thoughts. I remember when I was little how every morning when I was in, not high school, but like, I think it was intermediate, like right after middle, they used to have like an intermediate or whatever. No, middle. I think it was middle. I don't know. Either way, I would have stomach aches every morning, and I didn't realize that was anxiety. Like, I would get like the bubble guts, like, and it wasn't because of something I ate. I didn't really eat breakfast like that until I got to school, if even that. It wasn't that. It was anxiety. It was like fear, like just thinking about this, worrying about this. Oh, what if I run this person? What if this happens? All the thoughts. Who knows what I was thinking? And I never really just talked to my mom, and even if I did say something, I don't think she said it was something psychological. I don't think she probably just thought, well, your stomach probably hurt. It's probably just, GI stuff, which it was GI stuff. I did have those issues too, but we all know that gut health is fueled by stress as well. And it's a vicious cycle because that affects your mental as well. Like, it affects your energy. It's your second brain, as they say. But, as I kind of veer off a little bit, but it's all related. It's just beautiful. And then, he said something else. He's like, Mom, I think, he started feeling comfortable. This is all in the love, waiting in line to drop him off at the school. He's like, I have something else. And he's like, eyes kind of watered a little bit. And I said, go ahead. No, he said, but it may, like he's doing this, like, it may not be so good. It may not be so nice. I said, that's fine, James. You're not going to get in trouble. What is it? He said, just that you're not my favorite parent right now. Or I don't know if he said right now that you're not my favorite parent. I said, that's fine, James. I said, you're not going to always be happy with me. And I know it's because you got a whooping this morning that I'm not your favorite parent. But that's called conditional love. Because what if when you got bad grades or when you did something bad, I said, I don't love you today. I said, I love you no matter what. That's unconditional. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't love you because you did bad at school, right? I said, so today you may be like, oh, Mom, you're not my favorite because you with me. Dad, you're not my favorite because you with me today. Oh, Dad, you're not my favorite because you yelled at me. Oh, today, Mom, you're not my favorite because you yelled at me. Like I said, you can go back and forth. But it's not about that. We're your parents. We're going to discipline you. You're going to be mad at us. That's fine. But I don't have favorites. Just like I don't favor your sibling. I don't say, oh, I like your sibling more than you today, or I love your sibling more than you today. No, that's favorites. That's conditional love. No matter what you do, I love you. Just because I gave you a spanking, it doesn't mean I don't love you. Just because I yelled at you today doesn't mean I don't love you. Just because I took away your Nintendo or something doesn't mean I'm mean or I don't love you. No, it means I'm establishing consequences and rules and expectations. And if you don't follow them, it's going to have every action has a reaction. These are life lessons. This is how life is. If you go outside and you break the laws as an adult, you're going to get a fine. You're going to get a ticket. You're going to go to jail. So But I said, but yeah, I want to talk more about, your fears and stuff. And I want to talk more about other things, when you get home and stuff. And I said, but we're proud of you and we love you and you can do it. And, have a good day and I love you. And I still gave him his kiss and everything. Like, even right after he said, you're not my favorite. I could have been triggered and got mad and, oh, so you don't like me? No, I broke it down in a way so he can understand. I know why you're feeling like that. And I know why, and that's understandable. You're angry that you got that whooping. But you also need to understand that is the consequence for my rules and my boundaries and my expectations. And it takes a lot because you've been doing that all week. So at this point, you've had several and more than enough warnings. But I just want to kind of share this morning and just understand. So, just put some transparency and, like, I don't know if any other mothers are experiencing this. Is like, when your child do things that are triggering, I don't want to stress him out and make him feel like he's not enough or that, like I said, my love is unconditional. But I do have my rules and expectations in our house. We have those. And I was listening to a guy talk, I forget his name, but, he does a lot of men and male youth healing and mentorship. He was talking to his son. He was like, his son was saying, like, what it takes to be a father. He said, when your child makes mistakes or fail, you be there to support them. But also when they're just doing stuff like outlandish, then you got to put your foot down too. And it's true. Train the child up the way they're supposed to go. The scripture. Look it up. But you have to establish boundaries. You got to rebuke those demons sometimes. Like, you got to show them who's boss, because your child is at the mercy of all those demons that they battling. If you don't put them in their place, your child don't have the tools yet to put them in their place. So sometimes you got to rebuke that ish yourself. You got to pray over them. You got to put your foot down. You got to sometimes be aggressive, because some people have different battles. Everybody can't be parented the same way. I understand gentle parenting and this and that, and I understand conscious parenting, which is what I believe I do, because I do have this conscious awareness, but I'm not going to allow certain things in my house or in my child's spirit. You have to rebuke certain spirits. You have to do what you got to do to cast them out. But yeah, this is just my perspective, my feelings. Everybody's going to have their own opinion. Some people going to get stopped right at the part where I say he got a spanking or pop, and they ain't going to hear none of the other message. And they going to lose so many gems in that. But if you can get past that and just see what I'm saying, you'll see the message. But as always, guys, I love you guys. Peace out. Keep God first.